Hi, Alan. How are you today?
Oh, good.
Good, good. I think what we're going to do today is increase your Prozac. This way, I think it's going to make you a little less angry and a little less depressed. So if you just want to come to me in the office, we could talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
What you just witnessed is an obvious violation of the privacy rights surrounding an individual's healthcare information. All of us working in the mental retardation developmental disabilities field now have additional responsibilities for protecting the rights of the consumers we work with due to implementation of the privacy portion of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, also known as Hippa. More about that later in the video, but first, let's watch a few more scenarios.
So where should we go to lunch? What do you think? No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's his.
Boy, did you hear about that Jackie Brown today? That girl's got some serious mental problems.
I know she's psychotic. You know she's on medication, right?
Yeah, really.
Joan, you have a phone call.
Oh, thank you.
Wait a minute. Ah, this is the same person who plays with my kids. Man, he has got some serious problems. I don't think I'm going to let them play together anymore.
Regina, I think this fax is for you. It says something about Jack Smith. I think he has a sexually transmitted disease.
Just leave it there and I'll pick it up in a minute.
Okay.
So this is one of our rehabilitation classrooms. We run groups in here. I think there's a horticultural group going on at the moment. You know, the plants and things.
Whoa. Check this out. It says here it takes 2 people to restrain this guy. He must have some serious problems.
I don't think that should be on display, actually.
Oh, really?
In each of the previous incidents, important and confidential health information was disclosed to people who had no reason to know this information. Under the federal law called Hippa, this information is designated as Protected Health Information, or PHI, and except in very limited cases, disclosure of it without the consumer's approval to individuals who are not involved with treatment, billing, or program operations is strictly forbidden. We all value our privacy. In addition to protecting the confidential information of the consumers we serve, HIPAA also protects the privacy rights of you and your family. Protected health information consists of information that identifies an individual and relates to the provision of care, indicates the individual's health condition, or pertains to payment for health services. In fact, almost all of the information you know about your consumers would be considered PHI. This protected information includes the consumer's name, address, and phone number, Medicaid, Medicare, or other insurance information, diagnosis, treatment or services received, and anything else that can identify the consumer or patient. Almost all of us need to know some or all of this information to provide quality services to our consumers, to effectively bill for these services, and to ensure that the quality of services is up to our standards of excellence. HIPAA allows us to do this and each patient and consumer will receive a privacy statement that outlines how PHI can be used for these purposes. Oftentimes, you might be asked by fellow employees or outside agencies about a specific consumer or patient. You can share this information for professional purposes without consent if it is necessary to treat the consumer or if it is necessary for payment or program oversight and operations.
Hey, Raul. Hi, this is Jeff from Manhattan Dayhab. Yeah, I'm calling about Barbara. She seems very tired today. She seems to be lethargic. She didn't want to go out with the group today, and then she fell asleep during lunch. I was wondering, are there any changes in her medication or anything that I should be aware of?
Yes, there has. Her medication actually increased a bit, so it's going to take her about a week to adjust to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
She's going to be like that for a good week.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep my eyes out for that. Great, thanks. Bye.
In this situation, it would be acceptable to share the consumer information because it is part of the consumer's treatment. Is the person in this next scene sharing information appropriately?
Delia.
Yeah?
I know this is a big file, but I just got it from the clinic, and it was a rejection that we got. I need you to call the insurance company for me.
Okay.
This is a copy of a file. They are requesting additional information, but we have to send them very specific information. So call them for me now, pull out what they need, and it's got to be mailed as soon as possible. All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Look at all this paperwork. This is ridiculous. I'm not sending this. Actually, I am. I'm going to send it, and they can pick and choose whatever they want. I don't have time to sit on the phone calling these people.
If information is being shared for non-treatment reasons, like billing or quality oversight, you should be giving out the minimum necessary information for this purpose. The person in this last scene should have sent out only the information required rather than the entire consumer file. Under other circumstances, it may be necessary to obtain release from the consumer before disclosing information and to explain to the consumer how this information will be used.
Berta, I know you want to attend the recreation program, but they need certain information before you can do it.
The privacy officer or other appropriate staff person should explain the details of the consent form to the consumer before asking her to sign it.
Could you sign this, please? Thank you.
You're welcome.
When someone asks to see consumer or patient information and it is not for treatment, payment, or operations, stop and think. Talk to your supervisor if you have questions. If additional information is needed, speak to your agency's privacy officer who can clarify what to do if in doubt. If the consumer's authorization is necessary, use your standard consent form, which contains all of the information required by Hippa. Many times, we disclose PHI without even realizing it. By taking some basic precautions, you can prevent this from happening. Do not fax PHI unless you are certain that the fax number is correct and that the receiving machine is in a secure area. If the machine is not in a secure area, make sure that the person is there to receive the fax.
Hello, Jane. I have a confidential document that I need to send to you. I just wanted to check your fax number. Okay, I have it. Will you be at the fax for the next 5 minutes? Great. I'm going to be sending it to you right now. Thanks a lot, Jane.
Do not send PHI by email, as in most instances, this is not a secure form of transmission. Do not share your computer password with anyone, including your family members and coworkers.
Hi, Ava. Hi, Donna. Wow. I was just coming over to see if I could possibly use your computer while you were at lunch and, you know, get on with your password if I could.
No, I really can't do that because with the new privacy laws, I'm not allowed to.
Really?
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
If you leave your computer, close any applications that might be used to gain access to PHI. When leaving your workstation, even for a short period of time, be sure to use a password-protected screensaver that prevents any unauthorized person from viewing PHI on your computer. At the end of each workday, clean your desk of papers and files containing PHI and store them in locked desks or file cabinets. When confidential documents are no longer needed, they should be destroyed rather than placed in the trash. Think about it. Don't you want your private information protected? Most of us would say yes. And it's the same for the individuals for whom we provide services. Your privacy officer is the individual responsible for making sure that everyone complies with Hippa, that information is disclosed only in an appropriate way, and that disclosures are accounted for. Now that you have this information about Hippa, let's go back and look at some of the scenarios we saw at the beginning of this video and see how they should be handled under this law.
Hi, Alan. How are you today?
Hi, good.
Come on in.
Thanks.
I know that that's a confidential fax you're sending, so I'll stand here and wait for it, okay? Thanks.
Remember, under HIPAA, it will be up to all of us to help protect confidential information of the consumers we serve. Here are some additional considerations to keep in mind regarding consumer privacy. You should become familiar with your particular agency's policies and procedures regarding privacy protection for your consumers. Staff members may disclose PHI to certain individuals who are legally entitled to act on behalf of consumers. Laws defining access by these individuals may vary from state to state. For more information, speak to your supervisor or privacy officer. When your state laws and regulations regarding consumer privacy are more restrictive than HIPAA standards, the state regulations will usually prevail. The implementation of this portion of HIPAA is federal legislation which should be taken seriously by all of us in the developmental disabilities field. There are civil and criminal penalties for any violations of the law. For additional information regarding the HIPAA implementation process, contact the following resources.